Hey there, good looking. Join me for this upper body conditioning workout in which there will be no repeats. That is right. If you just like to do a single set of every exercise, then hey, this is your workout today. If you're doing this in real time, this is day 3 of the 12 days before Christmas challenge. Now for equipment, I recommend a light, moderate, and heavy set of dumbbells because we're going to be training a variety of different muscles, so we need to make sure that we load the appropriate ones at the right time. Now, I also recommend a pillow for underneath the hips for one of our low back exercises. Now, part of the 12 days before Christmas, we've also been focusing on different areas of the body to bulletproof. And today's focus is are your shoulders and your thoracic spine. All right, let's go get warmed up. All right, as you see, Tia is back in the house helping us out today. If you have a fitness watch and you'd like to track your workouts, push start now. For reference, I have an Apple Watch and I clicked the traditional strength setting. All right, let's start with our shoulder joint here. Let's take your thumb, bring it nice and slow up, rotate so the pinky's now facing behind you and come down. Let's do that same arm again. When we do this, we want to take it slow. And we're not twisting when the arm comes up. So keep those shoulders, hips, and knees to meet. Now in some of the work or exercises today, we're gonna be wrist bearing, so bearing on our wrists. I know that doesn't work for a lot of you, so I'm gonna give you a ton of options. So just listen up, I got everybody covered today. One more. You're gonna love it. Okay, let's do the other side. It's my Christmas present to you. Oh, that feels good. If you're unfamiliar with who the heck Tia is, you haven't been doing the challenge, she is one of our more popular instructors over on Over 50 Fitness. Let's do one more. As well as a good friend. Aww. Okay, let's open and close. Knees are soft. When we close the arms, we're going to alternate different arm on top each time. When we open up, those shoulder blades are coming together. So we're starting with that shoulder bulletproof series and T-spine rotation series. So that'll be down on the ground. However, I will show you some options if, as I said, bearing on your wrists isn't working for you today. Last 4 and 3 and 2. Hey, get out of my way, girl. And 1. All right, we're gonna get in what's called a quadruped position. So Tia and I will go on an angle. That means knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. So if weight bearing bothers your wrists, one thing you can do that might help you out is place some dumbbells underneath the hand so the wrist stays straight. If that still isn't an option for you, you're gonna come into a stand, hip hinge, and then follow suit with exactly what we're doing, staying in that hip hinge position. Deal? Yeah? You good? Okay, all right. So let's get set up here. Fingers are spread, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Take the left arm, bring it up so that the palm and the inside of the elbow is parallel to your floor. Now reach it up overhead, and when you do, you rotate the arm so the thumb's pointed up. Come back. Perfect. Now let's do it again. So we're here for 45 seconds without sinking into the other arm. So there's some space between that right shoulder and ear. Pulling it down and bringing the shoulder blade into the back pocket. Draw the belly button in so we have neutral spine. And as mentioned, if you're doing the standing, it's the exact same thing, okay? You just want to make sure that gravity's hitting that upper part of your back. You're going to start to get a little toasty into the shoulder here. That other wrist is under our shoulder. Slow and controlled. Last one. Perfect. Now you can shake this wrist out if it's starting to get a little achy, or stand for the next one because we're going to be bearing on that same wrist again. From here, left hand light behind the ear. Now let's bring that left elbow, touch the inside of the right elbow, rotate, look up. thoracic spine rotation. So your T-spine is probably the largest part of the vertebrae in your spine. And unfortunately, she can get really locked up and create a ton of havoc into the shoulder joint because your thoracic spine should rotate, extend. And unfortunately, due to a lot of our postures, it just knows how to flex. So here, we're teaching it to rotate. When we're done, let's do the other arm. Starting with that reach. Knees still underneath the hips, spine still neutral. Release. All right, if you want to shake that wrist out, go ahead. So we're going to start with that, reaching, rotating, and pulling back, okay? Now the right side. Left hand. Let's get that right arm up, inside of the elbow and palm, parallel to our ground. Reach it, thumb points up, bring it down. So we're again trying to get that level, that arm level with the ground. Teaching that scapula to move. And then being aware that we're keeping neutral spine and not dropping into that other shoulder that's weight bearing. If you're doing this standing, maybe you have that left hand resting on the top of your thigh. So I'm down here, all I can look at is all the dog hair that somehow got in here, because I did vacuum today, Tia. I knew you were coming. Time. I did vacuum. Shake out this wrist. All right, we're going to do the other rotation. Here we go. Wrist under shoulder. Right hand behind the ear. Let's bring that right elbow towards the inside. Rotate, look up. Do it again. Rotate, look up. If you want to coordinate your breath with this, maybe try that exhale as we lift and bring that elbow up to our sky. We're on our backs for the next move. I'll have to change the timer. I made another boo-boo on it, I see. So that'll give you lots of time to get on your back and get your dumbbells set up too for one of the moves. Last one. Beautiful. All right, let's get on the back, but have your moderate dumbbells close by for me, okay? We're going to move into a wall slide, but face up. So and then you'll have your moderate weight dumbbells beside you for the final move. So let's get the legs up into tabletop so we can anchor that low back. Bring the back of the hands so they're as close to the wall as we can, or floor, I should say. Now slide the hands up and slide them down. Slide up and down. We're aiming to have the back of the hands as well as our elbow on the ground, which shouldn't be much of an issue as the arm extends. It's when you draw them down towards you that it gets a little harder, especially to keep the back of the hand. So do your best. Our legs are up, so we can really keep that low back locked out and neutral. Unfortunately, when the T-spine gets locked out, the low back wants to do the work. Time. All right, grab your moderates in each hand. Bring the dumbbells up. Wrists, elbows, shoulders in one line. Now I want you to think about punching the ceiling and then lowering down, bringing the shoulder blades together. Punch, lower. Elbows stay straight. The movement's only coming through the shoulders and scapula. We're hitting an area or a muscle in particular called the serratus anterior. So that's around under the armpit area. And it plays a key role in shoulder health. So punch. Put some imaginary duct tape around those elbows. I find when I teach this to people, they always want their elbows to move. We don't want them moving. It's just coming through the shoulder. Back of the neck is long. All right, dumbbells down and grab yourself a quick sip of water. We're gonna start that no repeat strength in about 30 seconds. All right, we're gonna start by kicking the crap out of our chest muscles, triceps and front shoulder with a dead stop push-up. If push-ups don't work for you, I want you to do a chest press with some dumbbells. Everybody else, let's get set up. Your hands are just a bit wider than the shoulders, fingers are spread, elbows are gonna track to the back of your mat, come all the way down, chest to ground, lift the hands up, now press up. So again, if weight bearing on the wrist isn't working for you, you do your chest press with the dumbbells. We are doing the chest press again, but I think that keeping your wrists happy is much more important than doing a no repeat. We have 45 seconds of work today, 15 seconds in between each move. Next move, we're gonna need a moderate dumbbell in each hand, and we're on our backs. Last one. Woo! All right, moderate dumbbell. We have a chest fly. We're gonna keep the feet flat on the mat. Elbows are bent out and dumbbells are above the chest. Now from this position, you want to think about just opening the arms up through the shoulder, nothing through the elbow, and closing. It's almost like you're coming in to hug somebody. So we don't want the knuckles to come down to the ground. Gosh, I see that and I cringe, okay? That's a good way to screw up your shoulders. So we have 4 moves that just hit the same muscle. Boom, 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 and then we move on. Nice and slow and controlled. Bring the elbows in for me. Palms are facing each other. Heels are hip width apart. We're pushing the dumbbells or pressing the dumbbells straight up for a narrow press, hitting the triceps as well as the pecs. Let's go. Press straight up, lower down. Wrists remain neutral. Exhale on the hard, which is as we press those dumbbells up. Pressing up against gravity, that's the exertion. Whew, I don't know about you at home, but I am starting to feel the fire in my triceps. And lucky us, we get to just focus on them later on in the workout. Good luck brushing your teeth tomorrow. All right, now slide the elbows so they're just slightly in front of the shoulders. We're gonna add a moving bridge with the chest press. So as you press the dumbbells up, the hips lift. As the dumbbells come down, the hips lower. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Exhale, press. Press. We'll move on to our back muscles and biceps for the next 4 moves. All right, come on to all 4s. If you want to switch out to heavier, this would be a good exercise to do so. We're in quadruped position, wrists under shoulders, knees apart underneath the hips. Alternate your rows here. If being on the wrist irritates you, I want you to go into a stand with a hip hinge and do a row from there. Keep going. Just unfamiliar what that looks like. It's like this. You want a long line in the body, from the tip of the head all the way down to the tailbone. Squeezing the shoulder blade as we lift. Squeezing in between the armpit too, almost like you're trying to squeeze a grape. All right, dumbbells off to the side. If you grab that pillow, you'll have that and place it just underneath the hips. It's quite lovely for those of you over 50 because we tend to have some sort of degenerative disc thing happening. Toes tucked under, arms down by side. Lift the chest and lower. Low back extension. If you want to make it harder, fingers light behind the ears, so you add the weight of the arms as well. Let's keep those feet on the ground though. We're going to go back into that quadruped position with, I'm going to recommend a little lighter if you want really heavy on your last lift. All right, so you can do this, okay, in a stand with a hip hinge if this isn't going to work for you. We now want the palms facing you, and from here, neutral spine, we row out wide. So down here in what we call quadruped, that means that you are on your hands and knees or in a stand with that hip hinge. Breathe out as you lift. Good. I feel like I'm crowding you. You've got some more room there. We're going to stand with some lighter dumbbells for our final back move. One more. All right, grab some lighter. Feet hip width, hip hinge, hands under the chest, and then rotate the thumbs so they're pointed away from you. Fly up, squeeze the shoulder blades, release. Breathe out, come back. Now on this one, we got that long line of the body once again. Top of the head, down to the tailbone. Belly button's drawn in. We've activated that deep core muscle so that you don't feel the load in your low back. Knees are bent. Last few reps, and then we're going to pick on the triceps. Time. All right. Grab one moderate weight dumbbell. I want you to pretend someone's coming in to sucker punch you and you're bracing for that impact. Now stagger your stance, take your one dumbbell, bring it behind and drop down for tricep extension and extend the arms straight. Now you can also try it with feet apart, knees soft. So I want you to play around with what gives you the best base of support for you and your back, okay? We'll grab a dumbbell in each hand for some kickbacks for our next tricep move. Straighten those arms. Come on. All right. Grab a partner to that dumbbell. Feet underneath the hips for me. Soften those knees, push those hips back, give me a hip hinge. Now elbows are up and we're going to just glue the shoulder in this position. From here, kick back and bend. We're going to keep these dumbbells and go onto our backs in less than 15 seconds. We have some skull crushers coming up. One more. Woo! All right, let's take ourselves down. Arms are straight up. Now you can go a single dumbbell for this as well. I like a double because we tend to have one arm a little bit more coordinated, a little stronger than the other. Bring the dumbbells down beside the ears, keep the elbows over shoulders, and then press back up. Nice and slow and controlled, and careful of your head. That's why they call it a skull crusher. All I want for Christmas is a concussion. Please don't. Now we'll stay down here for our final tricep move. And hopefully keep the same weight that you have. Time. All right, now bring the dumbbells so they're facing your knees and the hands a little wider. They almost form a letter V. Bring the left hand down to the right shoulder and then extend back up, other arm. So you're going to cross the body, tricep extension. We're going to come into a stand after this and hit the other side of the arm, your biceps. All right, let's come to stand, everybody. Now on this one, your bicep tends to be a little stronger for most people, so you might be able to increase the weight. Palms are going to face towards me. All right, knees soft, both arms curl up, and then both arms slowly come back down. We're not swinging. You're going to see a lot of that if you go to a public gym. You're going to see this. This, I call that a pornographic curl. Just pushing those hips forward. Is not a good way to describe that? I can't go to public gyms anymore, can you? I just see too much. And then you can't unsee it. Woo! All right. One more. All right, now we're going to keep the same hand positioning, keep the same weight, but now just a single arm going across the body. And then the other side. Ready, set, let's go. Now as you go across, don't rotate your body with the dumbbell. Actually, the last time I was in a public gym, it was kind of a public space workout area, was Mexico last year. And was it last year? No, Mexico this year. And yeah, all the guys just training their biceps, right? That's all they did about 16 different bicep exercises. And I felt like saying, excuse me, sir, did you know that you have over 360 muscles? I didn't. I had to bite my tongue. I was bleeding my tongue. I bit my tongue a lot. All right, palms facing you now. Knees are soft. Hammer curl hitting a different head of the bicep. And then slowly go to straight. Ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. But on the flip side, some people will be doing things in the gym that you think may be wrong, and they maybe have been told by a physiotherapist or maybe their trainer to do it. So we also have to be very careful on what we say. You can share this without home, but I like to say
about intention.
There we go. She said that she tells her clients that no movement is bad. It's all about intention. Unless you're doing 18 exercises of bicep curls. Then that's bad. Time. All right, I'm gonna lighten my load. We have a hanging curl. So I've got a sensitive low back. So if you're like me, you might want to do the same. Let's do that hip hinge. Palms facing away, curl up to the shoulders and down. So the arms are just hanging there. We have that neutral spine. Really important. We've braced through that deep core. So again, it's like somebody's coming in to sucker punch you and you're like, oh, bracing for that impact. There's your transverse. Let's fire her up and keep it fired up. Holy moly. I'm using 5-pound dumbbells and my biceps are burnt out. Sorry at home if you got heavier. Good luck brushing your teeth tomorrow. We're moving on to shoulders after this, so hang in there. We're almost done. Last one. Good job. Root and stand. All right, we want light dumbbells for this series. Shoulders aren't big muscles. All right, they don't need a heavy, heavy load. So have softness in the elbows. From here, lifting shoulder height and then slowly come back home. So what I like to tell people is pretend you're pushing 2 walls away from you. And then while we do this, be aware that you aren't shrugging those shoulders. Breathe out and lower. Wrists remains neutral. You can even bend the elbows a bit more, creating less weight to lift. The longer the lever, being your arm, the harder the exercise. Knees are soft. Those abs are what? That's right, they're engaged. So Tia likes to coach, do a cough, and that gives you your core activation, or not your core, your connection to your core, right? Mine is more violent. Pretend somebody's gonna come and sucker punch you. Both ways work, I just want to say. All right, both hands in front of your body. Just your right arm to shoulder height. Slowly lower, other arm. I'm not a big fan of 2 arms for your front raise because as we get into heavier or more fatigued, we start to do this, leaning back and getting this really bad extension. So let's do it 1 arm at a time and get the form. If you need it harder, load up more. We're going to hit those rear delts of yours in our next move. All right, we'll go on a bit of an angle so you can see the hip hinge. And then your palms are kind of facing each other, and then we're going to rotate them and press them back, almost like you're making a letter V with the body. And then we lift as high as we can by still keeping that hinge. So that lift is coming through the shoulders and scap. Breathe out, press back. Breathe out, press back. If you've been doing the 12 days of Christmas challenge, Tia and I have been very color coordinated. However, it's all going to go to pot tomorrow because we've run out of our reds and greens time. We've tapped out. That's it. That's all we got. We'll move on to black. Christmas black tomorrow? Oh, yeah. Okay, Christmas black tomorrow. All right, palms facing you for me, please. Let's just start with your right. Rotate, press. Come and rotate in. Good. All right, Christmas block. And those of you part of Over 50 Fitness, get your butts ready because January 1st, Tia is releasing her 14-day functional strength challenge. She said to tell them that it's going to be awesome. It's going to be effing awesome. It is a good series. Really good series. Last one, then we're done. Time. Woo! All right, grab a little sip of water if you need it. We're going to do some stretches for the upper body, starting with some standing ones. We'll move into, actually, I'll get Tia to get here. We're going to do this guy here. So I want you to find a wall, door frame. Perfect. And you're going to have your forearm and your palm resting on your wall or door frame. And then you're going to turn your body and look over the outside shoulder. What Tia's doing is she's opening up the pec area on that one side. This is probably one of my favorite. This is another stretch that I do when we're flying. On the bulkhead, if you were in yesterday's workout, I was talking about how people ask me if I'm okay when I'm on the floor doing my hip flexor stretch. Go on a plane with me. It's fun. Yeah. Where do you want to go? Oh, where should we go? Monaco? Let's do it. Yeah, let's go to Monaco. It just came to the top of my head. My sister came back last month. All right, other side. Monaco. Let's go see an F1 race. Oh, you are so obsessed with that. Where's that, Montreal? There is one in Montreal, but there's one in Monaco too. Yeah, that's where all the really rich. No, Monte Carlo, that's what I'm thinking of, isn't it? At home, those of you with F1, yeah. Mm-hmm. F1's in Vegas now. We could go to Vegas. Yeah. Vegas, you don't really need to stretch from where we live. It's like a 2 hour. If you can't sit still for 2 hours, there's a problem. All right, come on. Let's bring yourselves. All right, I want you to take that left arm of yours, reach up, and then thread it through, and then walk the other one forward. No, I'm pretty certain F1 goes to Monaco. We'll go to Monaco. Okay. We're going to Google it. The people doing this video will let us know. Our community is the best Googlers ever. I'll find it all for us. All right, come on up. Slide it under. Now you're going to extend that arm up. I can't at home because I'm going to hit the mic and then it's going to give you a lot of feedback and you won't be happy with that. So follow Tia there. What are you doing, Tia? Oh, Tia's wrapped. Never mind. Don't follow Tia. She's doing her own thing. Tia's gone rogue. I thought that's what you were doing. Nope. We're trained professionals here. And come on up. Let's get into the forearm. A lot of dumbbell holding. Spread those hands as wide as you can. Bring the fingertips so they're pointed to your knees. Bring your body weight on top of the wrist and then sit back and hold. Now, as we pull back, we're going to do it very slowly with the fingertips, the final part to come off your mat. So really try to push down into the fingers themselves to get this beautiful stretch through the whole hand. And wow, you go really slow. You love that? Yeah. All right, have a seat, cross-legged, back on your heels, whatever feels comfortable for you. Fingertips pointed towards the ground and then rotate the hand away from the midline to get the forearm extensors. So this is the little guy, if you've ever had tennis elbow. Yeah, can give you some grief. So here's a good stretch for you. Other side. Release. Take your right arm, extend straight up, and then lean away, lengthening the side of your body. Maybe have the other hand on the ground to give some support. And let's open up that shoulder too, so we're looking up as opposed to gazing down. Release. Reach up. And release. You did it! Thank you for joining us. Hey, if you're part of the challenge, get ready. Tomorrow is leg day, so we'll see you there. Bye.